Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Wike Diansyah Fitri. Today I will explain about history of fashion for my midterm examination. Okay, clothes really weren't a fashion all the time. In fact, there was a time when having no clothes at all was the in thing. So we don't really know when that was and when that went out of fashion. We also don't know exactly when human beings started wearing clothes. But once invented clothing, there's been no looking back. People say clothing goes back almost 500,000 years. Early human originated from Africa when the weather was mostly pleasant and you could actually survive with no clothes. We humans have always been adventurous bunch, and then what we did is we started venturing out of Africa into Europe, Siberia, up north. Well, it really got cold, especially in winters. So what scientists suggest is that humans invented clothing to save themselves from the bitter cold. Which actually makes some sense. Only man used his intelligence to build tools and weapons out of material like stone and wood. They used these weapons to hunt down hairy animals like wolf and mammoth that have a lot of fur. They used the skin of these animals to make primitive clothes and wrap themselves in it and keep themselves warm. This was a discovery that led to the birth of clothing. Instead of just wrapping the skin around them, they started to make holes in it to put their head and arms through. Soon the method got more and more complicated. They figured out how to make pointy, sharp tools to punch holes in the animal's skin, which they would tie together with thin strips of animal skin. Now they could make something much better. They are just simple loose hanging clothes. Their arms, their legs, their head, their feet also could be covered. They could look more fashionable as well. Okay, special place called Ketelhuyuk. Ketelhuyuk is believed to be the oldest human settlement that we know of. After studying the site, scientists have confirmed that they grew these plants called flax to produce the sort of fibrous material that they make cloth out of. This cloth material you may actually know the name is called linen. Okay, next, Egypt. The ancient Egyptians were masters at making textile and fabrics. The linen material was ideal for the hot climate in Egypt. It helped the Egyptians keep cool in the summer especially. Okay, next, in China. A long time ago, a Chinese empress was sipping some hot tea under a mulberry tree. And then, something fell into her tea. It looked like a viewer velvety white blue. She kept watching what happened inside the teacup. The blue started unraveling into a long thin thread. So the empress ordered her royal visions to find out what it was. And after much research, they found out that this was a surprisingly strong, that we can make really smooth and shiny, fashionable clothes out of, and so silk clothes were invented. The ancient Chinese went a step ahead and figured out how to make the clothes in different colors too. They just used some color extracted from the plant and applied it on the clothes. In the 13th century, there was a boom in the dyeing industry, and suddenly there was a color everywhere. And by the time people had enough knowledge of materials, fabric, color, and they started experimenting and making art, fashion was born. People started coming up with all sorts of design for clothes. After the 23rd century, you had all the jeans and the t-shirt and all of that making a big earrings. Okay, I think enough. Thank you for your attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.